everybody, welcome back to another episode of Megabuild Survival with me, the Maximus JK. In our last episode, we worked on finishing Crayon de Cuivre, which was our Chateau Megabuild and the first Megabuild inside this world. As you can see, I filled out all the villager trading in every single one of these cells. So we have every villager besides a few librarians, but we have basically every enchant that I needed in the game. It was actually super easy to figure out. I did have to make an adjustment, however, where I had to add just a little water stream here so they would be pushed into the chamber instead of just bobbing up and down on this water column. I'm super happy with how this chateau turned out and the feedback that I got. Since then, not a lot has changed, but I have fully geared up here. I have all of these official pickaxes and tools and stuff, as well as kitting out my armor. I'm super excited to get all my armor and stuff, but there is one thing missing. I don't have an elytra. So, the first thing I want to do in this episode is get all geared up and head to the end. We're back in the storage room and I'm brewing up some potions to get ready for the Enderdragon fight. So far, I have a ton of slow-falling potions. I want to get some regen potions, some extra health potions, and everything that we will need for this fight, including water buckets, moss blocks for scaffolding. Once I'm geared up, I think I'm going to fight the dragon on stream, so I will see you guys there on the battlefield. I fought the dragon on stream, and I have to say that the fight is not as exciting as I hoped it would be. I've done the dragon fight so many times in the 10 years of me playing Minecraft that it's kind of a boring fight after a while. You pillar up, you shoot the crystals, and eventually you kill the dragon. I hope one day Mojang reinvents the end and the Enderdragon fight in order for it to be more fun. Unfortunately, I did die twice, but I never said I was good at the game. Ah! Get away from me! Oh, no. Just died from the Enderdragon. But it's no big deal because I'm a god at this game. After the fight, we grabbed an elytra from our end-busting trip and finally are ready to take to the skies and continue the episode. It feels so good to be flying around and soaring across this great survival world. I've made a few changes since last episode for the main survival base here. I worked on some of the roofs and added this wheat field here, which I think really adds the aesthetic of this area, as well as some paths and some flower pots and a little area for the test world. This is where we're going. So in this episode, I want to work on a raid farm and a shulker farm, as I want to get totems, redstone, and gunpowder in one big farm. So, I think it's time to head to the test world, and we can go check out the raid farm design. Welcome to the test world, and this is the design for the raid farm, the copper farm, and the creeper mob farm. This is a design by multiple different people that I have kind of combined together to create one big design. This vertical tower here is the raid farm design made by Ep.6. This wide copper module was made by Crimulus, and this farm right here is designed by Logical Geek Boy. This may look familiar as this copper farm and this mob farm were previously in my spawn chunks, but I decided to remove them because the main copper farm mechanic is that these snow golems hit coppers to spawn reinforcements. Now, since the farm was in spawn chunks, all these snow golems were always loaded, which was like 200 extra entities, which does not make sense to have. I also made a ton of tiny modifications to move all the mobs into a killing chamber here. Additionally, I have an on-off switch for the mob farm, and that will also turn off the copper farm. But I want to show you guys how it works. And give myself bad omen, you can see that the raid farm starts. The raid will spawn here and fall down to be killed by my player. Additionally, this mob farm here, which will sort mobs, will also add drowns and creepers into this final killing chamber. This is a stacking raid farm design that does create a lot of lag, so I don't know if I will really be able to run it or it'll have to be an AFK bot, but it is going to get me a ton of drops, a ton of emeralds, totems, redstone, and gunpowder. So I think the plan is to take a schematic of this, start getting all the materials. I'm gonna find a spot right near a pillager outpost to place this thing down. I'm super excited to get this farm up and running, so let's work on it. I have been sitting here for hours and hours. As you can tell from the oxidation of this build, I have just been grinding away getting resources. And I've made a ton of modifications to this thing over time, which has made this farm super duper efficient. I've been running this thing for so long that I am 100% filled up on gunpowder and copper. So every chest here is totally full, and I've basically been burning copper. This farm has been absolutely exciting. Generally, for my redstone, I've always built it on andesite. This is something that Etho talked about many years ago, how if you choose one block to always put your redstone on, you can always tell if you're mining around or something and you see some redstone blocks, you won't accidentally break anything. So I've kind of decided that since this copper farm is working so well, I really like the idea of building all my redstone on copper. But this thing has pumped out resources, and I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. The main thing that I worked on is the off system by closing these trapdoors, as well as removing this block here. All the zombies would come and fall down into here, ready to start the copper farm going once again. Additionally, the raid farm killing chamber was not enough for the copper farm module, and I needed to add a separate killing chamber. So I added this water column up here, and using Doc M77's killing method from his octochunk, I used this redstone system and created my own killing chamber. The reason it's at this weird angle is because the raid farm, which is right here, needs skylight access in order to function. One of the reasons that I changed the killing chamber is because of spawning conditions. Now, when I had the killing chamber for all the creatures here, problem was that this red circle here emphasizes the amount of spawning spaces that any creature could possibly spawn, which includes not only this, but every single cave here. This drastically adds the amount of spawning spaces and dark caves that mobs could potentially spawn in. The option is I could either light up or spawn proof the entirety of these caves, or I can move this spawn chunk up higher. So that's what I did. Now you see by this green circle, that is everything around the player up here in this killing chamber. And you can see that I positioned it just specifically so that everything in the copper farm is going to be loaded. So that green line ends just below the lowest part of the farm. And I have to say that since making this change, the rates improved drastically. So I would fly up to my little box up here, and from here I would do player, the Maximus JK, attack, interval, 11 ticks. I found 11 ticks was the fastest I could do. When the mobs come up, they land in this water stream, which is still able to be hit by this minecart. But sometimes the items get stuck on this trapdoor, so the items can either go to the right and in this water stream, or go to the left here and fall down and combine in this water stream that leads all the way down to the resource collecting area. I did have to set up a beacon because I noticed that my food would go down after a while and I could die from starvation. But I've run this thing for hours and hours and hours, and the only issue I've come into is some of the snow golems have died unexpectedly. Luckily, snow golems are cheap and easily replaceable, so if the farm starts losing significant amounts of efficiency, then I can go back and re-add them. I had to add a wood block here because the way the bot could work, it would accidentally break the glass, and if there was a creeper standing right there, it could be bad vibes. Magma block here in case chicken jockeys would spawn and they would get caught under here. A lot of these like tiny tweaks that I've made over the probably 100 hours that I've run this farm already. Unfortunately, the statistics got reset when I switched servers, but you can see that I have almost killed 1 million drowned in this farm and the other pre-existing copper farm. But this thing has been chugging away, and I feel like we're ready to go on to next projects. The only other thing I wanted to show you is how the raid farm portion of this thing works. So, I built this right near a pillager outpost, which should be coming up shortly. And if you fly in, you find one of these guys, and make sure that he doesn't get killed by the fire aspect. You fly on back, step on this pressure plate. I'm going to turn off the copper and the creeper farm. I'm going to replace the sword because this sword has fire aspect, which unfortunately is not something that works because it keeps breaking this armor stand. But you basically face down, player, the Maximus JK, attack, interval 30 ticks. And every time I hit the invisible string here, that triggers this bubble column to switch, which updates all these observers and changes the point of the actual village, which spawns a crazy amount of raids. Eventually, this thing starts ramping up with a crazy stacking raid farm design, and I start getting crazy amounts of emeralds. You will start to see that it just becomes materials on materials on materials. At this point, I have so many totems that I'm burning them, and the only thing I'm really keeping is the redstone and the emeralds, as well as some other loose things. This thing is insane. The amount of effort required to build this farm versus the amount of drops that you get is wild. And you can see it just starts chugging out drops. And I literally do not have enough storage for all this. So I'm going to shut the farm off, and we're going to talk about our next projects. Like I said in the beginning of the episode, I want to work on a shulker farm. But there's one problem. If you make a shulker farm, that means that you can't really respawn the end dragon. Now, one of my projects that I was thinking about is a massive end scale transformation. But I need all the end portals unlocked before I can start making a shulker farm, just because I can't really respawn the dragon. So, on a live stream, I decided to fight all the dragons. So, let's cut to that footage. Hey, 1 down, 18 to go. Whoa, what? I'm out of arrows. Okay, we're gonna have to play a little game I like to call jousting. Dragon jousting. The fight is hard because you're bad. That's actually true. That's unfortunately exactly the reason. This fight is so easy if you're not, like, dumb and impatient. Okay, so I literally did the exact same thing that I said I shouldn't do. Okay, 2 down. All right, Dragon 4 down, done. All right, another one down. I mean, they should, yeah, that was dumb. One more shot, and whoa, that was kind of cool to see. All right, this is it. And 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 this is it. Yeah, first try. Woo! How is that possible? Woo! Oh, one more hit. One more hit. No! Yes! Then he starts dating April Ludgate.
Swear word.
I hope not. That's wild. This game is bullshit.
Swear word.
How am I popping so many totems? The music from Frozen 2 is amazing. Ah. Woo! One more. Oh! There it is! There it is! There it is! Boy, that was exciting. But one thing I noticed is that there is actually something that I'm missing. There is an advancement in this game that I did not get. And if I can't respawn the Ender Dragon, I need to get that advancement before I close out the end for good. So, let's head to the end one more time and fight a final dragon just to get the advancement.
There's one more thing that we need. 1 amethyst shard, 2 pieces of copper, and boom, a spyglass. Here we go. Place the crystals down, rip a potion, and boom! Is it a plane? Perfect. Now, let's get rid of this guy. Whoopsie. Final shot! Hey, there we go. Whoa! What happened there? I'm gonna spend my next few days here trying to find a great Shulker Farm design and start building it up in the end. Kick it. This Shulker Farm design is awesome. This awesome Shulker Farm was designed by Ending Credits, who has a great video called Shulker Bits and Bobs on his YouTube channel. He is the king of Shulker Farms and gives a detailed outline of how and why Shulker Farms are built this way, especially with the scaffolding and all the other random little blocks that are placed in this build. Look out for his channel to see more updated and better shulker farms in the future. What makes this farm special, besides being super cheap and easy to build, is that it has this supercharger module on the side. It takes about 3 hours for the module to charge up, but you can see that it actively makes the shulker get more bullets whenever it's opened. This farm is awesome, awesome, awesome. I highly recommend you build it in your own survival worlds. And after a few nights of AFKing, we have shulker boxes of shulker boxes of shulker boxes. This world is about to get to a new level, but there's one thing in our way. We are trapped here in this world border, and over on the horizon is 1.18. Now, I want to think of a good way to get past this world border, as I want to break free. Maybe TNT cannons or some sort of missile, but we need to figure out how to get through this world border in the next episode because we have a mega build to make. If you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments how to break through this world border. I know that this was a super technical episode and I really want to get back to building in the next episode. I've been doing a lot of reading on Gothic cathedrals and I think the next mega build will be a Gothic cathedral inspired storage room. I have a lot of awesome plans that I've been planning out in my notebook, as well as doing a lot of research onto some of the beautiful architecture within the Gothic style. I'll see you guys in the next episode when we're ready to build something awesome. Bye-bye. Whee!